And Brian, we were at 9:00. I'm not shitting you. That's the first hour was the 6-man setup, Claudio and Pockets, and a girls tag team match. And that's when Tony Schiavone was back in the ring to announce the Casino Gauntlet match that will take place at the pay-per-view, with the winner being the new national champion, because it's been 40 years since the national title was on this network. And we covered earlier in the program the various reasons why this whole thing is stupid. But at that point, Tony introduces the Hurt Syndicate. And they come out, and the only interesting thing that they had to do in this segment was potentially raise the question of what would happen if Shelton had to face Bobby. And all MVP said they'll do what's best for business. And then the music played, and Ricochet and the fucking Stooges came out. And MVP had already called it the international title, because they can't even keep them all straight. And that's they had him plug Paul Orndorff, Jack Briscoe, Dusty Rhodes, Wahoo, Nikita as the former champions. And because they just Wikipedia'd that, Briscoe actually was never, they just put the thing on Briscoe for him to drop it to somebody at the start of it in the early 80s. But nevertheless, then Ricochet and his Stooges come out wearing the suits and the ugly robes, and the fans are hoot-booing him. Where they're not listening, they're either just booing over him because it's fun, because they don't give a shit, or they're chanting, "Shut the fuck up." But it's not like that this is any type of money-drawing heat. It's let's amuse ourselves by just shouting his putts down heat. Do you think they can tell the difference over there?
No.
And he talks like an indie guy as well as working like one. And he's the talent on this team. I think he was better off in the WWE, where he could be hidden. They had him do his fancy shit. He didn't get to talk very much, because the more that you listen to him and learn of what is apparently his real personality, the more that even the AEW fans genuinely just don't fucking like him. And MVP cut him off at the end when he was droning on and fired up and got the fans back into it a little bit, but nobody cares about these heels. So I don't want Lashley and Benjamin to face each other in the tournament, because that would hurt their image, but I would like more of the tease that they might, because at least it'd be something different instead of more with these fucking clowns. Help me.
Now, this was the worst I've ever seen or heard Ricochet on the microphone. You know, FTR, I think some of the booing with them is just based on the way they've been booked for a while and people don't want to hear them anymore. Maybe some of Dax. But with Ricochet, just listen to him. Like, you can't take him seriously. And I thought it became a bit much at the end. The intrigue, like you said, was the idea, what happens if Bobby wrestles Shelton?
Well, maybe they'll tell us next week more about it. But you know, at this point, Brian, in the show, like I said, we're past 9:00, and I'm starting to get sleepy. But not even because of the bad programming, but because I, like a good little boy, every night before I lay my weary head down to sleep, I get down at the foot of the bed and I say my prayers, and then I take my CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp, and that helps me sleep like a baby. Because CBD gummies are better for your physical and mental wellness than if you don't take them, because then you're just, well, fuck, you're leaving yourself open to just random chance, aren't you? Brian, I know every night before you lay your weary head down on your desk there where you sleep, because you're at work 24 hours a day, You take your CBD gummies, and that hard desk feels like a soft pillow.
I don't sleep on my desk, not even at my desk, but I can tell you that Suzanne, she is a big fan of the CBD gummies. She said she gets a good night's sleep every time she ingests one, chews one, whatever you want to say here. But they are also delicious.
Well, and you don't actually inject them or anything, and they're not suppositories. Now, at first there was some.
Not what I said.
Oh, you said ingest, not inject, but
ingest.
There was some confusion at first with some people. They are not suppositories. Now, some people had to find this out the hard way, but many other people know you just eat them like a gummy. But here's the thing. The cornbread hemp gummies or any other cornbread hemp products at cornbreadhemp.com, made right here in Louisville, Kentucky. We're all in a heap of shit here coming up soon if Mitch McConnell and the rest of these assholes in Congress get their way. So stock up while you can, because Mitch McConnell is trying to have all hemp products declared illegal, which would put thousands of people out of work in his home state and make people even more miserable than they already are living in today's society. And that's what Mitch McConnell lives off of. How do you think he's lasted this long? Instead of taking blood from virgins, he takes misery from everybody. So if we can keep Mitch McConnell from possibly feeding on our misery, then we can keep our cornbread hemp. So write your congressman, ladies and gentlemen. And in the meantime, head over to cornbreadhemp.com/JCE and use the code JCE at checkout. You're going to save 30% off your first order. And everybody ought to be stocking up on these things right now and putting them down in their root cellars and various places of storage for the time when Mitch McConnell, the Grim Reaper of the Senate, takes all of our hemp products away too, unless you write your congressman. They are formulated to help relieve discomfort, stress, and sleeplessness. Not your congressman. CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp. Once again, 30% off your first order with the code JCE. That's an easy to remember code, Brian. Would you like me to repeat it?
One more time.
JCE.
Yeah.